Good evening, live from New Delhi. You're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh, coming up in the next 30 minutes. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates two-day Rising Northeast Investment Summit in Delhi, urges industry captains to scale up investments in the peaceful, rapidly developing region. India's global outreach on Operation Sindoor expands further as multi-party delegations engage with key global leaders, highlighting India's continued fight against terror. Iran warns that there will not be any nuclear deal if the sole purpose of talks is to stop its uranium enrichment. Fifth round of talks with the US in Rome today. And China slams Trump administration's move to revoke Harvard University's right to enroll foreign students, says politicization of education will only harm image and credibility of the US. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the Rising Northeast Investor Summit 2025 in New Delhi today, extending a warm welcome to all dignitaries to the event. PM expressed pride, warmth and immense confidence in the future of the Northeast region. Prime Minister pointed out that there was a time when the Northeast was merely called a frontier region, but it is emerging now as a front runner of growth.
हम लुक ईस्ट से आगे बढ़कर एक्ट ईस्ट के मंत्र पर चले और इसी का परिणाम आज हम देख रहे हैं। एक समय था जब नॉर्थ ईस्ट को सिर्फ फ्रंटियर रीजन कहा जाता था। आज ये ग्रोथ का फ्रंट रनर बन रहा है।
And reaffirming that peace and law and order are the most crucial factors for any region's development, Prime Minister Modi said the government has zero tolerance policy against terrorism and insurgency.
किसी भी क्षेत्र के विकास के लिए सबसे जरूरी है शांति और कानून व्यवस्था। आतंकवाद हो या अशांति फैलाने वाले माओवादी, हमारी सरकार जीरो टॉलरेंस की नीति पर चलती है। एक समय था नॉर्थ ईस्ट कहते ही बम, बंदूक और ब्लॉकेड यही याद आता था। इसका बहुत बड़ा नुकसान वहां के युवाओं को उठाना पड़ा। उनके हाथों से अनगिनत मौके निकल गए। हमारा फोकस नॉर्थ ईस्ट के युवाओं के भविष्य पर है। इसलिए हमने एक के बाद एक शांति समझौते किए, युवाओं को विकास की मुख्य धारा में आने का अवसर दिया। पिछले 10-11 साल में 10,000 से ज्यादा युवाओं ने हथियार छोड़कर शांति का रास्ता चुना है।
Mukesh Ambani, Chairman and Managing Director of Reliance Industries Limited, speaking at the Rising Northeast Investor Summit, underscored that Northeast is not just rising but roaring. He added that Reliance will double its investments in the northeastern states.
The Northeast is not just rising, but to my mind, it is roaring. I make 6 commitments to the Chief Ministers of Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Sikkim and Tripura. First, Reliance has invested around rupees 30,000 crores in the region in the past 40 years. In the next 5 years, we will more than double our investments with our target at 75,000 crores.
Moving on, taking India's strong message against terrorism to the world, the third all-party delegation led by DMK Member of Parliament Kanimoy is in Moscow. The high-level delegation interacted with the first Deputy Chair of the Committee on International Affairs, Andrei Denisov, and other senators in the Federation Council of the Russian Federation. The all-party delegation led by DMK MP Kanimoi also interacted with the chair of the State Duma Committee on International Affairs, Leonid Slutsky, along with other members of the State Duma. And for more on this, RT correspondent Umayma Ishar has filed this report from Moscow.
Delegation of Indian lawmakers and former diplomats is arriving in Moscow and will be visiting their Russian counterparts in the Gosduma, Russia's parliament. Now, this is one of the 7 delegations that New Delhi has tasked with visiting over 30 countries in an effort to convey India's approach in combating terrorism amid escalation with neighboring Pakistan after a deadly attack struck Kashmir last month, leaving 26 civilians killed. After a few days in Moscow, the delegation will start its European leg of the tour, visiting Spain, Greece, Slovenia, and Latvia. Delhi's envoys project national consensus and the country's determination to security. They carry Prime Minister Narendra Modi's message that India will not differentiate between terrorists and the powers backing them or bent to nuclear blackmail. Russia condemned all forms of terrorism following the attack on Kashmir. Vladimir Putin emphasized that the perpetrators must be brought to justice and conveyed his deepest condolences to the Indian leader. As long-standing tensions escalated to a military conflict between India and Pakistan, Moscow called on the international community to stand firm against all manifestations of terrorism.
Meanwhile, the UAE and Japan have expressed solidarity with India in its fight against terrorism as all-party delegations' diplomatic outreach commenced on Thursday to sensitize global leadership about terror emanating from Pakistan. A delegation led by Shiv Sena MP Shrikant Eknath Shinde held talks in the UAE. The delegation met Sheikh Nayan Mubarak Al Nayan, Minister of Tolerance and Coexistence. Al Nayan conveyed his deep condolences for the Pahalgam terrorist attack. The delegation highlighted the perpetration of cross-border terrorism and Pakistan's efforts to cause social disharmony in India. The high-level all-party delegation also participated in an interaction event with the Indian community in the UAE, where members shared the new India and new normal, which has emerged after the dastardly Pahalgam terror attack and the subsequent Operation Sindoor launched in response. The delegation will also travel to Congo, Sierra Leone and Liberia.
Exactly 1 month back, news channels were telecasting Pahalgam, 22nd April. Today we are on 22nd of May. The date is exactly the same. The month has just progressed by 1 month. And at that time, the headlines were showing as if India was so helpless that terrorists were saying, go and tell the Prime Minister this is what we have done. Did any one of us ever think that an all-party delegation across all these seas would have started an initiative within 30 days? And here we are on 22nd of May, and I can assure you, by 22nd of June, we would have done so much more. That is progress, that is the work, that is the achievement that we are doing.
The all-party delegation led by Shiv Sena MP Shrikant Shinde met with Director General Anwar Gargash Diplomatic Academy Nikolai E. Nadanov in Abu Dhabi on Friday. The delegation visited the UAE to brief on India's response to the April 22nd Pahalgam terror attack and its broader fight against cross-border terrorism. Another all-party outreach delegation is in Tokyo, Japan, led by JDU MP and JDU National Working President Sanjay Kumar Jha. He reaffirmed India's actions against terrorism, told the diplomats and representatives from several countries during global outreach about the new normal in place against terrorism.
Not different. In thoughts, in every aspect, we are different. And just after 1 week, there was an attack in Pahalgam. Now, as he said, our Prime Minister said, terror and talk cannot go together. Trade and talk cannot go together. And water and blood cannot flow together. So that is the line. Entire 140 billion people are against terrorism. Or you can't be neutral on this. If any country is promoting, financing, training them, how come Osama bin Laden has not found anywhere in the world? He found in Pakistan, just next to their air base. Every terrorist activity in the world has some or other link in Pakistan.
The event saw ambassadors, diplomats of several countries in attendance. These included Saudi Arabia, Liberia, Micronesia, Singapore, Russia, South Africa, South Korea, Colombia, Brazil and Australia, among others. India's ambassador to Japan, C.B. George, brought the attention to the dastardly Pahalgam terror attack. He brought to attention the visuals of terrorists being given state funeral in Pakistan and underscored the new normal is very clear: zero tolerance towards terrorism.
It was a clear message that India has zero tolerance for terrorism. We will punish terrorists. We will go to any extent to punish the terrorists. The whole nation came together, the entire country. And the message from now on is this: we have zero tolerance towards terrorism. Blood and water cannot flow together. Terror and trade cannot happen together. And that is the message we are here. When it comes to fight against terrorism, there is no neutral position. You are either in the fight against terrorism or you are supporting terrorism.
The all-party delegation led by JDU MP Sanjay Kumar Jha also met former Defence Minister of Japan Minoru Kihara and Director General of the International Bureau Shinako Toshiya at Liberal Democratic Party headquarters in Tokyo. In the meeting, Indian delegation reiterated strong resolve to fight every form of terrorism. Shifting focus to some other news now. Frustrated over recent developments, Chief Advisor of the Interim Government of Bangladesh, Professor Muhammad Yunus, is considering to step down. Reports say Yunus voiced his desire to resign and address the nation through a televised speech during unofficial discussions at an advisory council meeting on Thursday. He talked about his worries over aspersions on his government's performance and duties. Yunus's relationship with political parties and the military has reportedly deteriorated. On Wednesday, it was reported that powerful army chief General Waqaruzzaman said that elections should be held by December this year. And Bangladesh Nationalist Party leader Zainul Abidin Farooq urged the chief advisor of interim government, Professor Yunus, to immediately issue letters to the two advisors and National Security Advisor. He requested their resignation from the Advisory Council. Speaking at a protest rally on Friday, Farooq said that absence of an election roadmap has fueled public suspicion and political instability. He stressed that BNP would not take responsibility for this instability. Let's now take a look at other stories making news around the world. Chile President Gabriel Boric has unveiled proposals to address the long-running conflict with Mapuche indigenous people. In a televised speech, he reaffirmed his commitment to peace, diversity and ending violence. Brazil's Senate approved a controversial bill that relaxes environmental licensing requirements, drawing criticism from factions, including environmental groups and members of President Lula da Silva's government. Still to come on this edition of DD India Live. US President Trump says Russia-Ukraine completed a major prisoner swap. Home Minister Amit Shah attends Border Security Force investiture ceremony in New Delhi.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh. Let's talk about the US-Iran talks. Iranian and US negotiators will resume talks on Friday in Rome to resolve decades-long dispute over Iran's nuclear ambitions. Despite Tehran's supreme leader warning that clinching a new deal might be insurmountable amid clashing red lines, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi and Trump's Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff will hold a fifth round of talks through Omani mediators, despite both Washington and Tehran taking a tough stance in public over Iran's uranium enrichment. Although Iran insists the talks are indirect, American officials have said the discussions, including the latest round on May 11th in Oman, have been both direct and indirect. US President Donald Trump wants to curtail Tehran's potential to produce a nuclear weapon that could trigger a regional nuclear arms race. The Islamic Republic, for its part, wants to be rid of devastating sanctions on its oil-based economy. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt told reporters on Thursday that President Trump believes negotiations with Iran are moving in the right direction.
The president spoke to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu today. They had a productive discussion. They discussed many things, including, of course, the tragic shooting that took place here in Washington, D.C. last night. But they also did talk about a potential deal with Iran, which the president believes is moving along in the right direction. And as the president told me, and he's told all of you, this deal with Iran could end in two ways. It could end in a very positive diplomatic solution, or it could end in a very negative situation for Iran. So that's why these talks are taking place later this week.
In other developments, US President Trump announced on Friday that Russia and Ukraine completed a major prisoners exchange, expressing hope the move could lead to something big. Russia and Ukraine each agreed at 2 hours of talks in Istanbul last week to swap 1,000 prisoners, but failed to agree to a ceasefire proposed by Trump. Previous prisoner swaps have been mediated by the UAE. The prisoner swap was the only concrete step towards peace that the two sides agreed at their talks in Istanbul. Donald Trump, who has shifted US policy from supporting Ukraine towards accepting some of Russia's account of the war, had said that he could tighten sanctions on Russia if Moscow blocked a peace deal. But after speaking to Putin on Monday, he decided to take no action for now. China has slammed the Trump administration's move to revoke the right of Harvard University to enroll foreign students. Chinese Foreign Ministry said that China will safeguard the legitimate rights and interests of its overseas students and scholars, dubbing it politicization of education. China says that US actions will undoubtedly affect its image and credibility. Moving on, the European Union sent a new trade proposal to the United States in an attempt to speed up talks on ongoing tariff dispute with Washington, D.C. Joining me with more on this is DW correspondent Chiponda Chimbelu in Berlin. Chiponda, where do the trade talks stand right now?
The latest news is that US President Trump's negotiators are pushing the European Union to make unilateral reductions on their tariffs, and that is according to the Financial Times. It reports that US representatives have said that without concessions, trade negotiations cannot continue, and the bloc will be unable to avoid 20% additional tariffs on European exports. Now, earlier this week, Brussels shared a new trade proposal with Washington, and that was in response to a letter that the bloc received from the U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer last week. Now, media reports say that the United States named its 5 key demands, which included harmonizing tariff rates, better investment conditions for U.S. firms in Europe, and a similar approach when it comes to dealing with China. Now, so far, EU officials have been a bit cagey about giving updates, and they are probably holding off on doing that until concrete progress is made.
And about the proposal, what is EU offering Washington?
We know that the EU is working on a two-track strategy. On the one hand, it is trying to prepare some concessions, and it is also preparing a list, or it also has a list of US products that it could slap with retaliatory tariffs. Now, in terms of balancing its trade deficit with the United States, the EU is said to be offering to buy more American liquefied natural gas and also more computer chips. And Brussels is also offering to cooperate more in other areas too. But the bloc is also ready to impose tariffs on US exports if it cannot reach a trade deal with the United States within the 90-day delay on retaliatory tariffs that was announced earlier this month. And that would involve targeting US exports worth 95 billion euros with additional tariffs.
Chiponda Chimbelu, thank you. Back home, India's Home Minister Amit Shah attended Border Security Force investiture ceremony in New Delhi on Friday. The minister praised the Border Security Force, BSF, for their bravery, dedication and commitment during an award ceremony. Addressing the ceremony, Minister Shah said that BSF and the armed forces have showcased great valor and true power of defense in India's retaliatory action against Pakistan.
ऑपरेशन सिंदूर ये हमारे प्रधानमंत्री की दृढ़ राजनीतिक इच्छा शक्ति, हमारी सूचना एकत्रित करने वाली संस्थाओं की सटीक सूचना और सेना का मारक क्षमता का अद्भुत प्रदर्शन, ये तीनों मिलता है तब ऑपरेशन सिंदूर बनता है.
In a shocking revelation that raises serious concerns over regional air safety, India's aviation watchdog, the Directorate General of Civil Aviation or DGCA, has confirmed that Pakistan's air traffic control in Lahore denied emergency airspace access to an Indigo flight to Srinagar in distress. The trailer of the Malayalam film Behind the Moon was also showcased at the Bharat Pavilion. This powerful film comes from a team of debutant filmmakers Hardeep Singh and Priyanshi Mane. DD India correspondent Jayasena was with this talented duo at Bharat Pavilion at Cannes.
Indie filmmakers are making waves at the Cannes Film Festival. Right now at the Cannes Film Market, and you can see a lot of Hindi film posters here. We are in a special design set by Maharashtra government, which is here to promote its filmmakers. And I'm joined by Hardeep and Priyanshi. They are here with their film, Malayalam film Behind the Moon, Yam Lokam. Yeah. Hardeep, first tell me about the film and how was the screening?
It was very well done yesterday. Actually, we have got very good response. First of all, we were very excited. Like, this is our first film we are doing, and it comes to Cannes. Like, we are very much excited, and it went very well. And this is a thriller family drama, which will be liked with everyone. It's not about only Malayalam things, but whenever people like who don't understand the language also, they will enjoy everything about the movie.
Priyanshi, tell us your experience at the Cannes Film Market, about the film screening and the process of making your film and getting it to Cannes. That was a big thing?
It's a big thing, as well as it was very big journey to reach here in first movie. It's not possible. It's dream come true kind of for me, because this is first project as a producer, as an actor. So I'm really glad and thankful.
It's a Malayalam film, Yam Lokam. How was the response? People were able to understand it, and there are a lot of excitement and curiosity for indie films in Cannes.
Yeah.
So how was the response to the film?
Yeah, response was very good, because thing is that I have very less dialogue in the movie.
Okay.
It is more of expressions. It is more of like internal conflicts going on within the character's mind, right? So that's what I said, no? If you don't understand the language, you will understand the entire movie. It's not the words, like, right? So that's the response I have got. And there are lots of layered screenplay. So this is what people liked it. And the most appreciation I got, that is for the BGM, background music. Okay. That is also created by me. But it was like that, like people liked it. The combination of the background music and the thrills, no?
Priyanshi, with the first movie you have reached to Cannes, tell us what are your plans with the movie next, where you plan to release in India or worldwide, and how was the experience as an actor, and any highlight of the film which you like to share with us?
As an actor, I actually follow my director. So whatever he said to me that just you jump, this is the fire scene or something. So I did according to him. And as a producer, if I talk about the releasing, so we are planning for the India first after going back to Cannes. And then, yeah, let's see how it will release in worldwide. We are in the process.
Okay. Thank you so much for talking to us. So indie filmmakers are really shining at the Cannes Film Festival, and content-driven cinema is what is our USP and our originality, which is making India proud and India's story shine at the Cannes Film Market. With camera person Sumit, this is Jaya Sinha reporting for DD India from Cannes.
In sports, having breached the 90-meter mark in Doha last week, Indian javelin throw ace Neeraj Chopra will hope to carry the momentum at the Janusz Kuczynski Memorial in Poland. Neeraj Chopra will square off against Julien Weber, former European champion yet again in Chorzów City on Friday. Two-time world champion and Paris bronze medal winner Anderson Peters also features in the tournament. This will be Chopra's third event of the 2025 athletics calendar. He won the Poch Invitational meet in South Africa in April, before bettering his own personal best at the Doha Diamond League last week. That's all for this edition of DD India Live. Let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. This app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live. Namaskar.